if you're in these groups where you don't feel like you can be yourself, you're in the wrong group. Like, first start testing it out and let yourself be yourself. And if it's getting rejected, you're in the wrong groups. It doesn't mean you have to totally walk away from these people, but what it does mean that you need to start spending more time with people who allow you to be free and fully yourself. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. And I have been working really hard lately, not only on my new company that is coming in, I can't wait to announce it. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to be obsessed with this product. Like literally, when we were designing it, we had you in mind. And if you don't know, I have done a major pivot from what I originally was doing. And I'm about to share that story with you in probably a month or so. I'm going to do an entire series on why I pivoted and what we're pivoting into. So we are working on that diligently so that we can come out with that and share all of that incredible news with you and take you along for the journey, because that's why I wanted to start this whole thing in the first place, was to be able to take women along for this ride, to show them what this looks like, to make it possible for you. Because if we don't see it, we don't know what it's really like, then you're never going to be able to do it. But with that said, I've had to really hone in on my next level self-care, let me tell you. Also, I'm in my 40s now, which I'm really excited about and really proud of. And let me tell you, it just gets better and better and better. So anybody who's like, oh my God, I'm dreading getting older, all of those things, I'm telling you, I have not had a year where it hasn't gotten better. Okay, I have had a couple rough years, but once you get back into alignment and into your healthy habits, then I'm telling you, it is all about just the lessons that you learn. And as long as you feel good and you're taking extra good care of yourself, I really believe that every single year can get better. And that is my belief, and I'm sticking to it. But I wanted to share with you, I have been doing some incredible things that have been making me feel so good. You guys know about the Power 9. I talk about it all the time. If you want that, all you have to do is DM me the word power on Instagram. That's something that has rocked my world, changed my life, and really made me focus on gratitude for the day and keep my goals in front of me. But I created something else for you, because this is all about getting you all of the routines that I do, these simple routines that are shifting my life. And I am really into skin right now, because obviously as we get older, you need to take next level care of what you are doing. If you want to feel good in your skin, if you want to have glowing skin, if you want to slow the signs of aging, all that fun stuff. And I have been doing lots of vitamin C. So I've been doing a lot of lemon water for so many different reasons. But what I didn't know is that your body's collagen starts to go down after a certain age, which is like skin elasticity, if you want brightness in your skin, all of those different things. And I've been doubling up on my vitamin C. And one of the ways that I get it, I want to get it in a natural way, is through lemon water. So I have been doing lemon water every single day. It makes it easier when I'm in my Arizona house because I have a lemon tree. But for you guys, just grab a bag of lemons and squeeze a half a lemon into some water every single day. And what I didn't know is that your body has to have vitamin C supplemented. Obviously, we don't make our own vitamin C, but in order to make your own body's collagen, it's called collagen synthesis, you need vitamin C present. So you actually have to supplement it every single day. So I have been taking lemon water for so many different reasons. And I just went down this rabbit hole of what lemon water does for you. And I love a good routine and a good ritual. That is something that I just take a moment of intention for myself, because I really believe, just like in Atomic Habits that I have been talking about a lot lately, is that a lot of the things that we want to do, or the motivations and the goals that we have, are really going to be hinging upon what our daily rituals and our foundation is. So for me, like I said, it's the Power 9, and it's also this lemon water ritual that I'm loving. So vitamin C helps with your own body's natural collagen production. So I've been wanting to up that in a major way. And I feel like I've been noticing a difference. I just feel like I feel better. I feel like my skin is brighter. So if you want my lemon water recipes, some of them have different things in them for inflammation, for puffiness, for all of those things, for debloating. You can just DM me on Instagram at Lori Harder, the word lemon. That's all that you have to do. Just DM me the word lemon. Nothing else, no exclamation points, no message with it, just the word lemon alone. And I'm going to send you all of my lemon water recipes that are so simple. Not just that though, I'm going to tell you why. So if you want to know why I'm doing this, you're going to know why under each recipe. But this is something cool that you can do with your partner, you can do by yourself. It's just that moment of intentionality of maybe putting that in your body first before your coffee. I'm not saying don't have your coffee, but what if you actually did this one good thing for yourself first? What would that say to yourself? What would that say to the universe? I think actions speak louder than anything, and just your goals are listening. Your future self is listening. I think it's an energetic thing that you put out there into the world. Okay, what I want to chat with you about today is, where are you editing yourself and where are you suppressing yourself? Because this might be something that we have lived with and that we grew up with and that we do for survival. And of course, that's typically why we start doing it, is because we fear acceptance in our families and our friend circles, or whatever that looks like. We don't fit in. Maybe we're the black sheep of the family. Maybe we feel like we don't fit in our communities. Maybe we feel like we've never had a place to fit. Maybe we feel like we don't fit in our town, in our state, whatever that looks like. And we create this other persona that we think will be accepted, except this other persona is smothering us and suppressing us and causing real damage. I've been reading some articles on what happens when we suppress emotion, and it doesn't get suppressed, you guys. If we think that we're feeling suppressed, it's showing up in other ways. This suppressed emotion either turns into some form of sickness in our bodies or we transfer it. So it's called displacement. And when you take an emotion that you're not suppressing or letting out, we're going to talk about ways to do this in 1 second, but it gets displaced either on an event or on a human being, most likely on a human being. So if you have something or somewhere where you are not feeling like you can show up as yourself, or you are feeling like something happened or is happening in a relationship, or you're being treated a certain way, and you're not expressing your feelings around it, and you're not expressing your thoughts around it, then that's probably going to show up. Not probably, it will show up somewhere else. And right now, what can be happening is you're not thinking that it's showing up somewhere else. You're just thinking it's showing up maybe in anger or resentment, but it is affecting your energy. It's lowering your energy because you are carrying that with you, and that takes up energetic bandwidth. Or it is editing who you are around other people. So you're not really truly coming off as who you are, maybe on social media. So you're not getting the views or followers or desired outcome that you want because you're really not being yourself. You're being a vanilla version of yourself. You're being an edited down, a watered down version of yourself because you're either afraid or somebody's taken away that edge from you and you feel like you can't be yourself. So this isn't going to happen overnight. This is a lifelong process, just like everything is. I don't want to set you up for failure thinking that you can change this immediately. This is something that once you fix one thing, you're going to notice that you're going to start to be able to become yourself or start expressing your emotion in one way. And you're going to notice it's going to be amplified in another area because now you fixed something. So isn't that cool how that happens? Really, not really. But what it does is it helps you realize the power is in your hands and you get to start focusing on these other areas one thing at a time until you get to a place where it's really rare that you notice that you're doing it. And when you do, it's so blaring that you take care of it right away. So maybe this is something in your relationships where maybe it's in your family. So for me, I grew up in a very restrictive religion and I learned how to be the person that would be accepted in my family and in my particular church. And what this did was I carried around a lot of stress and anxiety. This came about in panic attacks consistently on sometimes a daily and weekly basis. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know where the panic attacks and stress was coming from. I just thought I'm a panicky person. I definitely knew that this was something that was affecting me, but I didn't realize to what extent. I didn't have a spot where I could truly be myself or feel like I was accepted. So as I got older, of course, I carried this with me into all of the relationships and places that I went to. And when you're an edited version of yourself and when you're doing this to yourself, guess who you attract? Other people who are suppressing themselves and fear judgment and also feel like they can't be themselves. So you've now got this group of friends that you probably are hanging around with, that you're all feeling this way. And you all maybe are carrying a lot of judgment for each other because you're judging yourself so harshly.
Hey y'all, I'm so excited to share with you that this podcast, Earn Your Happy, is now a part of the Growth Day Podcast Network. Truly, this is like one of the most exciting things that has ever happened to me. I'm telling you, I no longer feel like I'm doing this alone, and I actually get to collaborate with the people who host the podcast that I'm obsessed with, like that I have been listening to myself, who inspired me to start a podcast, who have taught me about how to go and do the thing, like the original people who got me motivated through listening to their podcasts. You guys, a bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and to support shows and brands that we believe in. And one of my friends are also on this network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to their show. You guys, I just had Danielle Canty on of the Boss Babe podcast. She co-hosts it with her other amazing co-host and one of my friends, Natalie Ellis. You guys, you can go check out that podcast on mine. It's episode 925, and Danielle and I talk all about burnout and how that could be showing up in your life, and most importantly, how to prevent it. But I want to tell you, if you have not gone and checked out the Boss Babe podcast yet, go subscribe, because it is one of the largest online communities for ambitious women and female entrepreneurs. And I know that if you're listening to the show, chances are that's probably you. You guys, they have 3.6 million followers and 380,000 subscribers. The Boss Babe podcast is the place where they share real behind the scenes of building successful businesses, achieving peak performance, and learning how to balance it all. Most of all, you guys, truly, these women are in my life. Danielle and Natalie are people that I text on a weekly, monthly basis when I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel stuck. What should I do? I tune into their podcast, you guys, to learn. Even though they're my friends, I am still like crazy obsessed with this podcast because I learn something new every single time I listen. It makes me be a better podcaster. It makes me be a better businesswoman. It just makes me be better and more confident out in the world because they're so real and raw. And I can tell you that in the moments where I have had horrible days, down days, I've either gone and listened to this podcast or I've texted them, because these are the people who truly get it. You want to listen to the people who are walking in the same footsteps that you are. You guys, go check out the Boss Babe podcast. You're not going to be sorry. And it's just going to like make you way smarter, and you're going to have way more fun. So go check it out.
So you're going to have to start finding these people and these places where you start letting yourself show. You start being able to become yourself a little bit more, and let it be okay if those first few times you allow yourself to do this, that you're so worried about it, and you have these people who maybe don't accept you. This is the process. This is what it looks like. But you have to start finding the people and the places where you can start to be yourself. Start talking about that business that you want. Start talking about those big dreams that you have. Start actually being able to, hey, if you're maybe a colorful person, or maybe you need to express more emotion, or maybe you like to swear. I know this was the case for me. I know that sounds crazy, but it was like, I need to start finding these people who will fully accept me for even when I'm weird. When I say, I don't know, dad jokes, and they're not going to say, you're so weird, or you're such a loser, or you're so, I don't even know. Like, these are the things that were said to me. I always got told I was a weirdo, and I'm like, I'm not weird. I'm just goofy. Like, I like to play. I like to say these things and like play with people and like do these little skits. I know this might sound bizarre to some people, but I swear I was like, where can I find these places where I'm not going to be told I'm weird, or like eyes rolled, or feel judged? And I started to just really, really look for groups of people and start to try to make friends and invite people to different workout classes, and invite somebody once a week to go to coffee, and really find if I can play with this and learn to express myself a little bit in these different and new arenas. And then also allow myself in maybe these other places where I didn't feel accepted to start being myself a little bit more. And if I wasn't accepted, I would just say, I'm not weird. Like, hey, this is who I am. Like, if you don't like it, that's totally fine. And know that rejection is a major part of allowing yourself to start not suppressing those emotions anymore. So that's just the first portion of what it looks like to start allowing yourself to be yourself. and finding these other groups of people where I promise you, if you're in these groups where you don't feel like you can be yourself, you're in the wrong group. Like, first start testing it out and let yourself be yourself. And if it's getting rejected, you're in the wrong groups. It doesn't mean you have to totally walk away from these people, but what it does mean that you need to start spending more time with people who allow you to be free and fully yourself. So spend your brunt of your time with the people who you can express yourself around and fully be yourself, and spend less time with those that you don't feel that way. Now, if this is emotion around something that really isn't going to change, let's say you have a lot of family stuff. Like, I had a lot of family history and religious history where I still feel like I have to edit myself. Then what I do is I really find these places and friends and people and maybe therapists, right? Coaches and therapists, where if you have to go home a lot, or maybe if you're trying to fix a relationship in your family, there's going to be a lot to work through that you're going to have to talk about. And guess what? The places where this is happening is not going to be the same places where you're going to work through it. I want to say that again. The places that are really challenging you and the places where you are feeling very suppressed are not going to be the same places and people that are going to help you work through it. So you have to go and find others that you can talk to about this and get like a good third party to weigh in on how you can show up, like how you can start dealing with these emotions and be able to express how you really feel, and understand that sometimes these scenarios are not ever going to change, and make peace with the fact that maybe you don't get to feel how you thought you wanted to feel in these certain relationships. I think the biggest disappointment in our lives is just around the expectation that we had, right? Like, maybe we had an expectation around how we wanted our relationship with our dad or our mom to be, and it may never ever get to be that way because of their unhealed trauma or their ability to not be able to face certain things. And that is okay. Everybody is here in this lifetime for different reasons, but we can only deal with and cope and change our personal emotions and situation. So who do you need in your life to be able to work through those situations? So go find those places where you can fully express yourself and fully be able to deal with those emotions so that they don't get suppressed, so that you are getting them out into the world, or they're going to end up being dumped into the wrong places and the relationships that you really want to cherish and nurture, because those are the people that we feel safest around. So of course, the most suppressed emotions are going to come up around those people. And we certainly don't want to push away the people that we feel the safest and most comfortable around by vomiting all of our stuff on them and not actually showing up as the person that we want to be for them. So you guys, these are the two places that I just want to cover today, because these are the most likely places where you are struggling with suppressed emotions. So I'm sending you all so much love, and I want you to know that all of this, no matter how challenging it may feel, no matter how much we want to blame other people for the way that our relationships are, or the way that we were raised, or upset at our family dynamics, or really sad about the expectation around the results of a relationships, how relationships turned out, when we start to understand that we can change this, we get to decide how we're going to show up in those relationships. And when we decide how we're going to show up in a more expressed, empowered way, or understanding that, yes, this might not look how I want it to look, but I'm going to go and deal with all of the emotions that came up later, right? I'm going to go have somebody to talk to about how I feel around these things and how helpless maybe I feel around not being able to change these certain situations, and understand that I can keep on trying to show up a little bit different and not let these things impact me, not take them so personally, not be so upset by the fact of how they are responding to the things in their life, and know that we don't have control over them. When we can start to be really empowered and know that we can take control over these emotions and these feelings, and start learning to have these places where we can go and express and work through the emotion, I promise you that that relationship might change for you. It really, really, really has changed for me. And I actually can't believe how much has changed by just how I have decided to show up by not taking things so personally, energetically, and not having them feel it. Like not being so defensive when I'm around these people, or so upset or so confused by having them not understand where I'm coming from. When I let that all go, for the most part, it's not that it's gone away. It's that I now have these other places where I can go and field it and express it and understand that, yes, this might not be the relationship that I want, but I have these other relationships now in my life where I can express it because I've nurtured myself and created them. So you guys work so hard on cultivating these other places. Like I said, this is a work in progress. This is going to be like a 2 to 5 to 7 year thing. But wouldn't you rather wake up in your life and feel resolved and feel so good about this eventually and know that you put the work in to change it? It's worth it. It is so worth it. So I'm sending you guys so much love. And again, if you want to try these different lemon water recipes that I feel like have kind of set the tone for my entire day, just DM me on Instagram. It's at Lori Harder. Drop me the word lemon, and that is it. No emojis, no nothing else, just lemon. And I'm going to send you all the reasons why you're going to love this ritual too. So you guys, thank you for always coming over to the podcast and also just sharing your thoughts and sharing the podcast with other people. That's how the pod gets out. Let me know any ideas, anything that you want to hear about. I love talking to you and what's going on in your life. So until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone.
Hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have big dreams and big goals. And one of the things that can really stop you is struggling with your marketing. Trust me, I have been there. Are you using 10 different systems just to build your online business? Then I want you to try Kajabi. Kajabi helps you build your web pages, set up funnels, and sell your courses, content, coaching, or communities. You've been hearing me talk a lot about funnels on this podcast and the importance of your email list. You can get a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. I've talked about Kajabi before, but here's something that's super cool and new. They just rolled out an AI assistant for creating your online course curriculum. And this means you just type in a topic that you want to create on a course or webinar, and bam, it just generates a sample outline for you. It takes a ton of the hard work away. Of course, you're going to customize it to be your own, but this really helps you get over the struggle of how in the world to start, which is where most people stop. If you're like me, starting is always the hardest part, and that's what makes Kajabi so popular. They've made it easier for creators to build web pages, build courses, build coaching programs, build membership sites, build checkout pages, and build email funnels. So if you're struggling with any of those, you got to go check it out. Go to Kajabi.com. Kajabi was really the first all-in-one system and is trusted by over 100,000 creators. I think that's good enough for me. Also as influencers and marketers who use this. And now their smart AI platform makes it easy to take what you know and turn it into an online course and business. Go start building with a free trial at Kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group. Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule text to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true, deep sense of community. And it's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com.